It's time. And what time is it? It's time to be grateful. It's time to decide. It's time to give meaning to that which is fundamentally meaningless. So it happens to be morning. So, yes, it's time to say good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Oh, I love that, don't you? You get to choose the same way that I do. Remember, that is your greatest power. You have your notes in front of you, write that. I always have a choice. And what's the choice? The choice is to choose your thought. Remember, that's the only free will that you have, free will to choose your thoughts. And with that choice of thought, provided you are thinking, right? Because we're not talking about mental activity. But with that free choice, you can shape, mold anything you want in your imagination. Shape and mold that thinking substance that permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe, which then will lead you to a feeling. Remember, your feeling, whatever it is at that time, is the attractive force in your life. Control that, you control your life. That's what these calls are about. These calls are about helping you to master your mind so that you are in control of your life. And hasn't it been wonderful as you've been engaging with what we've been sharing with you here in this book right now that we've been studying, the Master Key System by Charles Haanel, and also through a lot of the other stuff that we've been giving you, how you've been using it and how you've been changing inside, haven't you? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Nod your heads. Yes, it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. See, that's what life's about. It's about that growth. It's about the change. It's about that everlasting movement in the now to change the outside of your life. That's what you have dominion over. Right. So with that, make sure you have this. Okay, wave it. Got it, right? Your goal card. You gotta have this goal card. Remember, in order for this to become a material fact on the outside, you must build it in your own mind first. You must become one with it. You've got to be loyal to this unseen reality. So be loyal to it. Why? Because it's important. You're important. All right, let's dive into this, shall we? Let's go into where we are in this book. Now, I'm going to go over what we went over before, and the page that we're on, 183, is where we're going to start at. And here's the reminder for you that ties into you changing your life. So even so, a thought dropped into the invisible substance of the universal mind, that substance from which all things are created, as it takes root, the law of growth begins to take effect. And we find that conditions and environment are but the objective form of our thought. Now, what is this a reminder of? This is a reminder that your outer world, the results of your life, the outcomes, how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, how you dress, the car you drive, the home in which you live, is a reflection of what's happening in your inner world. And your inner world is a world of thought. Change the thought, change those patterns inside of you through the use of your conscious thought. And what changes? The outside. Now, remember, the exercise I gave you that will help you to see this, that will help you to think like this, is to look at the physical things in the room you're in. Make it a practice to constantly look at these material things from the perspective that all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. That all things were made by imagination, and without imagination was not anything made that was made. See, someone planted the thought, they impressed it upon their subconscious mind, they held the image, and that's what led to the change. I mean, look at this here. Got my little flash drive, this little tiny thing, right? Somebody held that image in the screen of their mind. They impressed it here. Think about that. They held it here, pressed it here. It took root. And from there was discovered how to do this, which is why I have one, which is why you have flash drives, which is why you have the device you're watching this on. That's the real cause. Everything starts in the mind. Everything starts in the form of an image, of which is in the mind. Then it turns into something that's objective. Subjective mind, objective mind. Subjective mind, the universal mind, your subconscious mind thinks subjectively, then externalizes to something objectively, which is the outside. Three planes of understanding: spiritual, intellectual, physical, subjective to objective. Now, the law of thought is an active, vital form of dynamic energy which has the power to correlate with its object and bring it out of the invisible substance from which all things are created into the visible or objective world. It's so good. I'm going to read that again. The law, and remember, you must work with the law, and the law gets enforced regardless of whether or not you're knowledgeable or ignorant of it. And here we're wanting you to be knowledgeable of it. The law is that thought, and remember, you can think, is an active, vital form of dynamic energy. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts are the magnets that attract to us the very things that we think. So again, the law is that thought is an active, vital form of dynamic energy, which has the power to correlate with its object and bring it out of the invisible from the no thing, the invisible substance from which all things are created into the visible or objective world. This is the law by which and through which all things come into manifestation. A beautiful reference from Wallace Wattles. It is the master key by which you are admitted into secret places of the Most High and are given dominion over all things. The law of thought. With an understanding of this law, you may decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. See, that's a reference to something from the Good News book from the Bible. Decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you. What's the decree? It's a demand. It's an acceptance of whoosh, an idea. You want to 10x your income? Make a declaration. Become one with the idea. Be loyal to the unseen reality, and it shall be established unto thee. Believe in it. Believe in you. Right underneath this, it is done unto me as I believe. It is done unto me as I believe. Encircle the word as. That's the most important word in that sentence. Why? Because it reveals that what's done unto you, the outcomes of your life, how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, happens to you solely based from what you believe to be true, solely based from what's rooted here in the subconscious part of your mind. So you can change that where? In your mind, by thinking in secret, just like what James Allen refers to. Think in secret, it comes to pass. Environment is but our looking glass. That's a beautiful lesson that both Dolly and I share in thinking into results. Environment is but a looking glass. It's something that we both had to learn, and we've gone through this journey. Something that we use. And it's something that you're beginning to use as well. Your environment is but a looking glass. Look in your room. That's your environment. You being here in these calls, that's part of your environment. The car that you drive, the clothes you wear, how you do your hair, that's your environment. And it's a looking glass based from what's happening inside, based from how you think in secret.